When my own son raised his voice at me for the first time, I didn't get angry. I broke inside. That moment didn't just shock me, it revealed the truth I had been running from, a truth that had been quietly poisoning my family. People say betrayal comes from strangers, but mine came from the two people I love most, my husband and my only son. My name is Evelyn Carter. I spent my life building a home filled with warmth, love, and sacrifices no one ever saw. My husband Daniel was my partner of 26 years. My son Matthew, my pride. Our neighbors used to tell us we were the perfect American family. Sunday barbecues, family drives, smiling photographs. But life has a way of hiding cracks under polished floors, and mine began the night Daniel came home smelling like a perfume I didn't own. He walked in late, shirt wrinkled, hair messy, a strange softness in his smile, like someone else had already seen the real him that day. The scent was floral, elegant. I didn't accuse him. I didn't beg, didn't cry. I held my heart still and pretended not to notice, because sometimes a wife stays quiet not out of weakness, but to protect the home she spent years building. Days passed, silence multiplied, and distance crept between us like a fog. Daniel guarded his phone. He avoided my eyes. Matthew, young and trusting, didn't he see the storm I felt every night when I lay beside a man who was no longer mine? Then came the message, a simple notification on Daniel's unlocked phone as he walked to answer the door. Last night was perfect. I miss you already. My breath didn't rush. My tears didn't fall. I simply died a little inside and placed the mask of a wife who pretends she doesn't know. But heartbreak eventually demands to be heard. It happened during Sunday lunch, the one day I believed families should feel like families. I cooked Matthew's favorite meal. I tried to talk, tried to smile, tried to hold on to something slipping through my fingers. I asked Daniel if he was okay, if we were okay. He brushed me off, cold, irritated. Matthew looked at me, annoyed. "Mom, you're overthinking again," he said. My son, the boy who once cried when I had a fever, now looked at me like I was the problem. Like love made me dramatic and pain made me difficult. I looked at Daniel and whispered, "I know." He froze. Matthew asked, "Know what?" And for the first time, my voice didn't tremble. "Your father hasn't been faithful," Matthew snapped. "Mom, stop. Dad would never." His voice was sharp, louder than I ever imagined he'd use with me. I felt my heart crack, not from Daniel's betrayal, but from Matthew's disbelief in my truth. I didn't fight. I simply stood, wiped my hands on a napkin, and left the table. Silence followed me. Sometimes silence screams louder than words ever can. That evening, destiny stepped in. Matthew went outside to take the trash and froze. Daniel stood near a car laughing, leaning close. A woman touched his cheek, soft, familiar, too intimate to misunderstand. She kissed him quickly before driving off. Matthew stood still, breath shaking, the world he believed in collapsing in front of him. He came inside slowly, eyes red, voice small. "Mom," he whispered, "you were right. I'm sorry." I didn't feel triumph. I felt relief mixed with sadness, because no mother ever wants to be right about her family's destruction. Daniel followed him in, guilt dripping off his silence. I raised my hand before he spoke. I didn't need excuses. I didn't need tears. I needed peace, something he could no longer give me. He left the next morning with a suitcase and a face full of regret. Matthew watched him go, not as a son losing a father, but as a man finally understanding his mother. The house became quiet, but not empty. Matthew sat with me more. He helped with chores. He apologized without words, through his presence, through gentle conversations. One night, he hugged me and whispered, "Mom, I'll never doubt you again." And in that moment, I realized sometimes we lose something so we can gain back what truly matters. Daniel still calls. He wants forgiveness. Maybe one day, I will find space in my heart for that, but trust, once shattered, returns slowly, piece by piece. I didn't lose a husband. I found my strength, and my son found his mother again. Sometimes betrayal doesn't end a family, it rebuilds it on truth instead of illusion. And silence. Silence can be the most powerful goodbye.